If you work in Australia, holding an Australian business number and submitting invoices does not automatically make you an independent contractor. If a business incorrectly classifies you as a contractor, you could be missing out on essential employee entitlements. This includes minimum wages, penalty rates, paid leave, and workers' compensation coverage. A business cannot bypass Australian employment law simply by calling you a contractor in a written agreement. Your legal status is determined by the practical reality of your working relationship. Since August 2024, courts use the whole-of-relationship test to resolve classification disputes. Rather than relying solely on the contract, this test examines how the work is actually performed in practice. This applies to almost all workers, aside from a rare exception for those earning over the $190,100 high-income threshold who validly opt out. This chart shows the key factors used to evaluate the working relationship. Under control, employees follow set rosters and workplace procedures, while contractors decide how to achieve a required result. For financial risk, employees earn an hourly rate. Contractors quote a price and carry the risk of financial loss. For tools, employees generally use business-supplied equipment, whereas genuine contractors supply substantial equipment of their own. The test also looks at delegation. Employees must perform the work personally, while contractors have the practical ability to subcontract. Regarding hours, employees are engaged for ongoing shifts, while contractors are engaged for defined tasks. Finally, representation. Employees present as part of the business, whereas contractors actively advertise a separate, independent client base. None of these individual factors dictates the legal result on its own. The correct classification requires assessing the total weight of all factors across the entire relationship. When a business knowingly misclassifies an employee as a contractor to avoid payroll obligations, it is engaging in sham contracting. This unlawful practice is frequently used to avoid paying minimum rates and entitlements. Migrant workers and temporary visa holders have the exact same workplace rights as Australian citizens. An employer cannot remove your entitlements, and they do not have the legal authority to cancel your visa under any circumstances. This flowchart illustrates an important exception under tax law. Even if you are a genuine independent contractor, if your contract is wholly or principally for your personal labor and skills, the business is legally required to pay you superannuation. Forcing a worker to obtain an ABN does not protect businesses from providing core legal entitlements, and coercive contracting practices violate Australian workplace laws. If you suspect you have been misclassified, start collecting evidence. Retain copies of your written contracts, ABN and invoice records, rosters, payment records, and any messages giving you daily work instructions. Next, compare your day-to-day working reality against the guidance provided by the Fair Work Ombudsman. Check your superannuation eligibility through the ATO and seek independent legal advice to navigate status disputes or claim back pay. Australian law protects the reality of the work you perform, regardless of what documents you were instructed to sign. Note that this information is general in nature and verified current as of July 20, 2026.